Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday, it's 7:30, and you know what time that means? It is time for our Wednesday evening meditation, our second for 2022. Thank you all for being here. I am Reverend Rob Banaszak, and I am the pastor of the Institute for Spiritual Development in Washington, D.C. And we have been establishing this practice on Wednesday evenings for a little under 2 years online. And then previous to that, about 2 more years we used to do in our sanctuary. But delighted that you are all able to be here this evening online. We just take a few moments to be still, to allow ourselves to be guided by the information that we get from these beautiful Earth Magic cards. You know how much I love them. They always manage to give us the perfect message for the week, even if it quite often is the same card as we've seen several times. But that's not happening tonight. We're going to get a brand new card, I have a feeling. And so when we add our energy to the cards together in this real-time group, or if we watch the recorded version of our meditation, we're adding our energy. We are creating a space that we can all go to together on this meditative journey and address whatever issue or whatever information we are guided to address that comes from the picking of the card. And so when we do pick the card, I just ask you to pay attention to what you see in the imagery, how the words from the card make you feel when you hear them read, what the little passage about the card says, and how it may apply to something that you're going through right now, this week, and how might it unfold in the coming days ahead until we meet again next week. So just to touch on last week's meditation, which was about, it was the whale card, and the card was breach. And the context of that breach was what were we going to break through over the past week to take us to another level for ourselves. Just as the whale breaches the surface of the ocean and experiences this unabashed freedom and joy, having broken the surface, so were we to look upon those situations or situation in the last week that perhaps took us out of our comfort zone a little bit, and not only that, led us to a place of newfound or longed for freedom and exhilaration that we have been waiting to experience. So hopefully everybody had that kind of experience where they breached a boundary that they needed to breach, and in that process discover something new about themselves. So I wonder what that means for this week. Will it be related? Will it be the opposite? All we can do is shuffle these cards, pick them, and go from there. So I will, as I say every week, I'll shuffle the cards around, I move them, I don't really shuffle, and then I'll draw the top card so that we all can see I'm picking a card that we have all kind of added our energy to, and you can see that it's the top card, rather than me using my intuition and reaching underneath the cards and picking out one of my choice. We all know that I'm picking the top card only after the shuffle that we have added our energy to together. Make sense? Let's do it. Let's shuffle. And if you want to hold your hands up, if you want to just close your eyes and just imagine your energy kind of sailing through the ether to me here in my home. While I'm shuffling, I can do a little housekeeping that I keep forgetting to do, which is I have 2 dogs and I live in a populated area of Washington, D.C. So at any given point, you may hear ambient noise outside my window. You may hear my dogs bark. You may hear ambient noise in your own home, of course. And I invite everybody to take whatever noise may come out of left field, out of the blue, perhaps during the most quiet point of our meditation, and just see that as a cue to go a little deeper. So if it startles you, imagine yourself kind of like having that start and then going actually deeper than you were the moment after. So just take it as a cue. Don't be distracted, because ultimately what we're seeking is that ability to be in that meditative state regardless of what's going on around us, which will always include some sort of ambient noise or distraction, or dogs barking, or babies crying, or honking of horns of cars. So our ultimate goal is to be able to breathe deeply and to focus where we need to focus, regardless of what the environment is that we are in. Hopefully tonight you are in a space where it is quiet and it is comfortable, where you can focus more easily than you could in a populated area. But if not, you may want to challenge yourself in the weeks ahead. You may want to sit in the center of where the action is and see if you can take those breaths and end up in that space that we all seek. So I'm shuffling, not dropped any, and then we're going to draw the top card together. And that card is, are we ready? Top card, please. It is, the card is Gaia. The card is Gaia, and the message is nurturing. Well, that just sounds beautiful, doesn't it? Gaia, nurturing. We know we have a lot of work to do to nurture our Gaia. I'm going to put the card in a place where you can get a better view of it. And then you can look at it with me. As I read about it to you. Wow, that is a rich looking card, isn't it? You can see her in the center of it, the face. It's gorgeous. So the card is Gaia. The message is nurturing. And just gaze on the card as I read. What does it make you think of? We know what's happening in our earth and in our world. We know what we must do. But for tonight, this is about this week. This is about what's going on in this snapshot of a moment. So relax as I read. Again, the card is Gaia. The message is nurturing. Earth Mother, Mother Goddess, Great Goddess, Terra Mater, and Gaia. In the Greek pantheon, this magnificent being was Earth personified as a goddess. Daughter of chaos, she was the mother and wife of Uranus, heaven. It is her body that we walk upon every day, and the substance of our own bodies is the substance of hers. It's from Gaia that we receive everything we need for survival, which she provides for us abundantly, nurturing our body, mind, and soul. She nurtures our bodies by offering the fruit of the trees, the greens from the earth, and the air that we breathe. She nurtures our minds through her awesome physical and dynamic beauty, and, as depicted in this card, by the amazing colorfulness and diversity of the world. She's constantly creating and recreating. She nurtures our souls by caressing us with her blessings each day and challenging us to be better humans through her response to our attentions and our intentions. Receiving can be sacred, can be a sacred act if your intention is to honor spirit. It is as holy as giving when performed with a humble and open heart. This is even truer when receiving much needed nurturing. So let others give it to you. It may be a stretch to do so at times because of childhood conditioning, but that habit can be overcome. Your wounds can be healed. One way to achieve this is to nurture yourself and allow others to nurture you. Consider the actions you take that are self-nurturing. What comes to your mind when you really think about doing beneficial things for yourself? Set aside your ritualized habits and beliefs that restrict the pure act of allowing your body, heart, and soul to be nurtured. Lie on the earth and ask Gaia to rock you in her bosom as you breathe with her and relax into her loving care. Ah, how beautiful, how beautiful. Because we can see, we have day-to-day, real-life expressions of how we nurture ourselves and how we nurture the earth on which we live and that we are a part of. It's an almost overwhelming image to imagine ourselves as just one little part, one little cell in this magical body of the earth, and know that we are both powerful as insignificant as that may seem to be, that little cell, that little speck, that little life form here that is making this earth thrive. But we require nurturing. Each cell requires nurturing and nourishing. And as we are nourished, so are we able to nourish. And I really encourage everyone, there's been a lot of talk about self-care. That's been a buzzword over the last couple of years. And I know that we tend to think of that self-care as some sort of like spa experience or some sort of indulgent experience. But in many ways, the self-nurturing is more of the being aware of the choices that we make in our lives, the choices that we make each moment of each day that can either nurture us or draw from us. And so when we have the opportunity to be conscious and to be aware, we can ask ourselves, is this experience that I'm having a nurturing one for me, or is it one that depletes me? So we have a lot of experiences that we can't control that end up taking from us. That's why when we nurture ourselves, we are ready for those depleting experiences. And so when we have a night like tonight, where we stop and reflect and to apply what we know to our practice and to decide whether we want something in our lives that is nurturing, that fills us, or that is going to deplete us. So, of course, tonight, let us make this meditation one of great nurturing, one of sustenance and growth and evolution. So we're not just keeping that status quo as we nurture, we're building ourselves, we're strengthening ourselves, we're enriching and enlivening ourselves. Of course, how do we do this? We start with our breath. First of all, it's the quickest way and really the only way to realize just how connected we are to the breath, to the life form that is Gaia, that is our earth, that is each other. So we pay attention to that breath. First of all, we get relaxed, as I hope you are doing. Make your nest. And then as you begin to relax in that nest, begin to become aware of your breath as it enters into your body through your nostrils, inhaling and exhaling. And imagine it, that breath being nurturing, inhaling fully, cleansing your body, and then exhaling. That whole breath process is a nurturing process. And then one last deep breath that we're focusing. Fill our bodies with oxygen, and then exhale. And then if you haven't already on that exhale, let your eyes flutter shut. And we're going to return our breathing to a normal pace, but for now, just a few more breaths that we're going to remain conscious of it, as conscious of how it feels as it enters, whether it's cold or warm, how it feels when we fill ourselves, and then how we feel when we exhale, just for a few more moments together. We'll rely on the tones of our bowls, our Tibetan bowls, to guide us deeper and deeper into meditation, as they can do so beautifully. And so we're paying attention to our breath, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Each breath drawing us deeper and deeper into ourselves. Imagine, if you will, as we go deeper, we find ourselves crawling through a space right where our heart chakra is. Not with our physical bodies, but in our mind's eye, we open that space where our heart chakra is. We decide to just explore. like opening a trapped door, deciding to descend below us. And as we shimmy through the hole, to that trap door, that space where our heart chakra is, we find that our physical body has become invisible to us temporarily so that we can be our true essence in this space. And as we realize our body has become invisible to us, we realize that we have entered into a vibrant, cloud-adorned, bright blue sky, where the sun streams through the clouds so beautifully. We feel warmth. We feel comfort. We feel whole. And we feel at one with this sky where we find ourselves, so brightly lit. At the height of the day. And we allow ourselves just a moment to bask in this feeling of comfort and warmth as part of this bright blue sky, as part of these beautiful, giant, fluffy clouds, as part as the sunbeams stretch across the sky, stretching far, the clouds billowing across the sky, as the sky only seems to become a deeper and deeper blue with the addition of our presence. Now, as these tones fade away and we find ourselves in this beautiful sky, as part of this beautiful sky, we begin to notice that underneath us, just below us, we notice life forming beneath us. Out of nowhere, we see beautiful tall trees begin to stretch below beautiful fields of green grass, vibrant as their trunks take shape and begin to form and stretch toward where we are in our sky. with the trees and the outstretched branches, come the leaves, first as buds, then as vibrant, green, beautiful, soft, green, fluttering leaves. And in our blue sky, do we sense the sound of the breeze, the touch of the breeze on our presence, blowing through the rustling, gorgeous greenery of the leaves and branches, and on that same bed of beautiful grass, flowers begin to sprout up like it's fast motion photography, sprouting everywhere, becoming more and more vibrant with the colors of the universe, bright yellows and blues and pinks and reds, greens, all shades, purples and orange. Everywhere we look, life springs forth. And as that life springs forth, we see, as in that fast motion photography, beneath us, the life from the cellular level. We can see the cells begin to gather and take shape and form. And they form insects. They form animals. They form all life, teeming below us, working together, living in a circle. The cycle that takes them from creation through their natural end, through their dissolving back into the earth, and they're beginning again. We, in our place in this beautiful space in the sky, can feel it and sense the cycle of life right below us and with us and in us. Everywhere we look is alive and connected. And from our space, we see that connection. It may look like a thread. It may look like a piece of tape that is woven through, or a ribbon, but we see the connection as we see it. Bursting forth like a giant flame of living. And as this life has sprung forth that includes everything around us, and we realize our part in this life, being integrated with this life in the sky, and as the sky, we can sense a greater presence appear through us and as us. If we remember the card, then we remember that face, that beautiful face, that presence weaving her way, almost serpentine-like through the sky and through all life. We sense this beauty, which goes beyond the physical beauty. It's an essence of beauty that is alive. And then the tone we suddenly realize as her voice singing to us. It's a wordless song with a voice rich and beautiful and calming. Because it is the voice of the mother. The nurturing, caring, life-giving mother. Our mother. She sings with longing, and she sings with joy. She sings with pride. And she sings with lament. Saying that our nurturing ourselves and understanding what we need to nurture ourselves is the same understanding about what we need to nurture our earth. For when we nurture ourselves as individual beings, we then know and understand the connection to all individual beings, to all life, and to Gaia herself. We know and we understand. We can feel her love as we feel our love of her so beautifully, so intensely, and yet so gently. And then suddenly, she's gone. And all she's done is made herself invisible so that we could make our choices for ourselves. She's told us what we've needed to hear and has left it up to us to choose that nurturing of ourselves. She's asked us to be happy, to choose, to be conscious of that choice, to be grateful for that choice, and to be discerning in our choice. For this is about freedom, freedom to thrive individually, so that this beautiful living organism that is also the life of a goddess can be expressed fully and eternally. And in this space of sky, we just allow ourselves a few moments to open and recognize all who have joined us here in this space. Much to our delight, we are so not alone. Mother Gaia knew exactly what she was doing calling us here this evening together. No matter when we've joined this journey, we are here and realize we are together. And as we like to do during these journeys each week, we recognize one another. We reach out to one another as essences. We embrace one another as essences. And we know that we can call upon one another as essences whenever the work of our nurturing becomes challenging, we are here to nurture one another. Feeling the gloriousness of this togetherness, we choose to begin to return to our physical bodies, which is just a matter of recognizing our breath inside of us as we inhale and exhale. And again, inhale, just paying attention to that breath. And exhale. How does it feel as we recognize our physical bodies once again from this amazing journey together? Inhale and exhale. Let's take some breaths that are quick, that return us completely to our physical bodies. And we'll open our eyes on the third one. So breathe in and exhale. Breathe in again and exhale. And one last breath. Inhale and exhale. There you are. Yes. Welcome back from that beautiful space. That space where we got to crawl in like curious kids that are making their way through the yard on a summer day, down into that basement or through that trapdoor, and discover that we are the sky, we are the clouds, we are the earth, we are the life of everything, and that we're all connected. And that the mother, the great mother, the goddess, is right there, always with us, always waiting to make her face appear when necessary, and then fade away when she needs us and wants us, and will nurture us so that we can make our way through this life and this earth ourselves. On this very cold day, during this so far very cold week in January, I must say what a beautiful message and what a wonderful space it was to be in that warmth, to be in that sky, to watch all that greenery below us, right? Knowing that not very long from now, as the approaching equinox happens, we will be once again returning to the light and the green and the blossoming. So tonight was like a little trailer for the springtime movie that is on its way, but also recognizing that we are all one with Gaia. We are all one with each other. And only when we nurture ourselves and really understand what that means will we understand that when I nurture myself, I nurture and respect you and see you as that same being and with that same divinity. And then once I see you in that same divinity, then I see the next person and the next person, and then I can see my animals and all animals and insects and life and trees and plants everywhere and water. It's all connected because we are all one organism and conscious beings in that organism. So we've got a little more responsibility, don't we? So stay warm. Take this message with you. There's not even an assignment other than to pay attention. It's always important to check in with yourself. If things are getting crazy, watch the meditation again. See the card again. Remember that feeling of going to the sky and being together so that we can just regroup and move forward. Please remember to check our website. I've got a little graphic at the bottom that can tell you how to get to our website, isd-dc.org. You don't even have to type in the www anymore. And then, of course, if you want to leave a love offering, we are so grateful for any and all of our support of this online community as we begin to build an infrastructure for continuing and improving these offerings. And then, of course, our events, isd-dc.org/events, and you can see what is coming up. It's changing quite a bit these days as we figure out our online journey. So continue to check and certainly drop us a note from the website as well if you have any questions. And we will look forward to seeing you again sometime this week. If not at our Course in Miracles discussion group tomorrow, then at Sunday service, where Reverend James DiBiasio is speaking, or back here again next week. Have a great night. Love you all. Be good stewards of the earth that we are responsible for and a part of.